Hey folks, welcome back to Skyward Sword. We are here at the shipyard, hoping to find some clues as to where this guy's ship is. Because this guy's ship is home to Nehru's Flame, which we are after. We need to augment our sword with it. Now, unfortunately, the ship is invisible, so we don't really have a good way of looking for it outside of getting any clues, but with any luck, it'll work out. Anyway, the shipyard is a series of little, like, buildings connected with minecarts. Minecarts to transport materials, I suppose, like, things to build the ships with. Seems a little less practical to have, like, roller coaster-esque minecarts when you're trying to be building ships. I suppose maybe to get to higher elevations, but I am not a shipwright. I could not properly explain all the eccentricities and intricacies of shipbuilding, especially in the Zelda universe. Anyway, return of the Lizifos, in a significantly less dangerous setting than last time we ran into them. Before it was on top of lava, here we got a sea of sand. That won't stop me from being terrible at fighting them, though. Like, really pretty terrible, honestly. I am ashamed. But we do have a stronger sword as well. This new sword does more damage, does double damage, as you recall. So hopefully these guys should be taken care of in relative quick manner. Good. But still, that was a shameful display of sword fighting right there. I should just give up now. Yeah, I guess it was used for people heading into the mines, but it's in the middle of an ocean, so I don't really know. What are you even doing here, Goron with a mustache? Anyway, translation time. This one says ride. This one says curve. This one says break. This one says fly. Alright, before we head off, let's heal up. It's a good thing. Don't you need to, like, eat? I know you eat rocks, so you just, like, eating the buildings or something? Whatever. Anyway, the various rooms here are connected by minecarts, and for each minecart we have an awesome little roller coaster minigame where we need to keep our balance, basically. You can rotate the remote according to the track in order to keep your balance. And it's overall pretty rad. It's not too tough, but it is a nice way of engaging the player during what is otherwise an on-rails segment. Literally. You might screw up and fall off once in a while, but overall I found it more fun than frustrating, which is a good sign. If you lean into the turns, you'll get more speed, so that's exhilarating and pretty rad. Anyway, hope you don't mind me standing still. You know, I was just taking in the moment. Yeah, and more of these guys. Yeah, there isn't honestly a whole lot to this area other than the minecarts, so I hope you like the minecarts. Like, yeah, what was in that building? A minecart. The sign here says Shipyard. And already we're moving on to another one. It is totally an excuse just to have a sequence like this, and I am totally okay with that. Now here we need to actually pay attention to what we're doing, because we now have split tracks. You don't have to lean the direction of the track you want to take. If you don't, you'll go on the wrong track, and then you might either get caught in a loop, or you'll run off an unfinished rail, and that would be bad. And of course, the decisions get quicker and quicker as the rail goes on. Now, I think that last decision there is a split path, but they both work out, I think. But for some reason, I've always taken the left path. It's just, I don't know. That's what I do. Don't judge me. I gotta wonder, did they get like actual professional roller coaster designers on this stuff? Because I'm wondering, I don't know. I don't know much about roller coasters. I'm not a roller coasterologist. Anyway, after that minecart ride, we are actually in the shipyard part of the shipyard, which is the main facility of interest for this overall complex. This sign says station. And this here is the construction bay. This is where they would actually put together the ships, apparently. And then they would, like, open up that door and then sail off into the horizon. Doesn't seem like a very big construction bay. Maybe they only construct part of it at once. Anyway, yeah, let's look in the sand for a clue. What are we looking for? A clue. What would that look like? I don't know. Now this poster, or blueprint or something, I'm a little confused on the translation, actually. The second word there is obviously ship, but the first word, I'm not sure. It's like, my guess is that it's some sort of misromanization of dock, as in it's a ship dock, or else this is a dog ship or something. I'm going with a ship dock. Hey, you remember this guy? Yeah, it's the boss of the Thunder Dungeon. Hope you like him, because you're fighting him again. It's essentially the same, except maybe the arena's a little smaller. And it's also rectangular, if that changes anything. But other than that, it's an opportunity to use your stronger sword against what was previously an almost formidable enemy. But really, I don't really feel that sense of empowerment of totally schooling a previous boss, because he still takes a good number of hits. May even take the same number, I don't even know. And while I do somewhat like the idea of re-fighting bosses, this strikes me more as lazy. And I don't like to mark things as lazy, but I think that was laziness. I mean, it does not throw anything new into the mix. It is pretty much exactly the same fight. Of course, I do a lot better in this fight than the first one. Ooh, maybe that's the attack? I don't know. I maybe just didn't use it in the first one against me. Yeah. I don't want to say it's underwhelming, because it is. I do like this boss, and it's fun to fight him again. But from a game design perspective, it's a little underwhelming. I'm doing a terrible job. There we go. Taken care of. Now, what if we had to fight two of those at once? That would be a challenge. But no, it'll never do anything that cool. Well, okay, fine. So this entire little expedition was pointless. No profit whatsoever. Except maybe like a couple rupees from pots. No new information. No prizes of any sort. Totally useless. Isn't that wonderful? Alright, Skipper, give me the scoop. Where do we gotta go now? That's right, taking the fight to the man. So yes, our final destination is the pirate stronghold. That means we might actually fight some formidable enemies with, like, actual pirates, you know, rather than random monsters. No promises, though. But yeah, the pirate stronghold, as you will soon see, is probably the most intricate of the three sections. Definitely the most interesting. Because the last one, aside from the minecarts, was pretty underwhelming, because it was basically nothing but minecarts. Stronghold, on the other hand, come on, man up. That really must present some sort of internal struggle. Like some sort of life support rock. Truly a deep and motivating character. Anyway, the pirate stronghold is essentially a little mini dungeon. Like, a very, very mini dungeon, but definitely a lot closer to a dungeon than the previous two areas. Because there are actual puzzles and an actual progression, and it's indoors. I mean, plenty of those electric keys. Didn't zap me this time. Anyway, first things first, we need to find our way inside. Should be a door around here somewhere. I don't know why I don't just, like, roll the bombs at these guys. It would work a lot better. I mean, I have trouble rolling, but it would work a lot better. Anyway, hey, here's the door. That was easy enough. No security. Alright, I'll take a look. You see? You're taking a look. There. So yeah, this is another area where we'll need to creatively manipulate the time-space continuum in order to make progress. But it's used in a much more interesting way, I would say. A lot more dynamic. And you will see why after we take care of more of these guys. By take care, I mean isolate. See, that's a crafty thing to do. Only grab one of them at once. Highly recommended. And I can just ignore that guy if I want. Am I gonna ignore him? Yup. See, one of these days he's just gonna look over and, like, he's gonna ask for a cigarette and he's like, dude, where'd you go? What the hell, man? And he will never know. You know, look at that wave pattern on the wall. Clearly this was oceanic at one point. Anyway, as I said, the time shift mechanic in this dungeon, mini dungeon, is a lot more dynamic than in previous areas because it is a time shift orb, and it is in fact mobile. It is so cool. Like, you thought it was, if you didn't think it was cool before, I'm sorry, but now you just have no choice, because now you can move with it. And that means you can craftily place the radius to either activate or deactivate enemies, or puzzles, or obstructions, or other various things. Look at that guy. He's dead now. And now he's alive. So yeah, this leads to a number of actually very interesting puzzles. They started off slow, of course. They demonstrate, oh hey, you can open doors by yourself now. Just by walking up to it while holding the orb. But you can also avoid the BMOS, avoid the BMOS. Someone said that you can actually parry the lasers. I was not aware of that. I'm gonna try that next time I run into them. Seems a little bizarre to me. Anyway, there is a thing to know. Transporting things to the past will sometimes activate new barriers rather than just dispel old ones, slash new ones, slash whatever. So you will have to move the radius in such a way that you do not, in fact, obstruct your own ability to progress. Ooh, look at those. 2 ancient flowers right there. And once in a while, apparently back in the past, there were stone pillars here. I don't know, I suppose mass erosion or something like that? Maybe when the ocean turned to sand, that also turned to sand? I don't even know. Anyway, uh-oh. There's sand over there, but a barrier over here. Oh wait, no, it's not sand. Never mind. Yeah, we just need to figure out a way to get the orb through. But I swear that's a puzzle later. So yes, a lot of the time shift orb puzzles come from sand versus hard ground combined with barriers. And overall, it's a lot of fun. I really like it. I like messing with the borders. Because it's something that doesn't require like a specific grid, and there's a little bit of flexibility in how you can exactly solve it. There's a clear intended solution, but the fact that you like put the orb wherever you want makes things feel a lot more free. Oh my, look at you guys. You guys are dead. I will not get sick of that, it's true. Anyway, be careful not to go too far outside the radius, because, again, it's sand and you can fall in and die, and that would be bad. Okay, there we go. Now, one thing that I don't remember if it is demonstrated in this dungeon is that the orb can, in fact, be thrown and rolled to a certain extent. Throwing it's a lot better than rolling it. Anyway, there's the puzzle I was thinking of. Move it close enough so that you can dash over, but not so close that you activate that electric barrier. That lets you get over, push the block, and you're good to go. Then, of course, just to make sure that you have the orb with you, it has another barrier. Ooh, I remember this one. This is an especially clever one. I like this one. Because, as you can see, these two rooms are actually connected. And that's not something you might initially realize. But they're like, the wall is kind of up on some stilts or something. So the radius of the time shift actually goes under the wall and affects the other side. I think that's gosh darn clever. So as you can see, grab the orb, place it in such a location that the Bamos ideally won't kill you, but in such a location where the barrier is not in the way, but this barrier is removed. And ta-da! That opens up that door over here. And allows us to do some moving around, get the orb to the larger room. I really like these. These are a lot of fun for me. And again, I like to only take on one enemy at a time, and that's especially applicable when you're using the time shift orb. Because you can move it in such a way that you'll only activate one enemy at a time. Like one of these, I don't know, they remind me of Armo statues. I don't know what they actually are. But like only activate one of those guys at once, activate one Demos at once. Definitely a fun way that you can apply it to both puzzles and combat. And we can place this in here, and that will expand the radius off way to the entire facility. And that did that for some reason. Not entirely clear. I noticed, Fee. I figured, Fee. Anywho, now that the mouth is opened up, we can use our claw shots to gain some vertical distance. There's for one a goddess cube over here. Definitely a useful thing. Probably one of the more obvious ones. The cutscene kind of pointed it out. But then there are also things that we can do now that this is a thing. And that was foolish of me. I really should have activated the sail claw. But whatever. When you reach a certain point on this bridge, Fee will talk to you about the stuff. So yeah, this is an instance of stand in the correct place in order to progress the plot. If you, like, hop down from where the goddess cube was and then immediately go back to Skipper, you would not get that functionality, and it's a little dumb. But oh well, I like the rest of this dungeon so much, I am okay with it. Anywho, that takes care of the pirate stronghold. We now have a way to track that ship, even though it's invisible. And that means it's time for some naval shenanigans. So yeppery doodle, we need to track it down with dowsing, and then hit it in order to make it visible. And then once we've hit it enough, we should be able to board and grab Nehru's flame. Now unfortunately, we can't shoot when we're in this first-person mode. It seems like it would be a really nice thing to be able to do that, like, you are dowsing and you're like, oh, it's directly in front of me, I want to press B to immediately shoot. But alas, you cannot do that. You have to go out of dowsing and then switch to the cannon, and by then the ship may have moved, and blah 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 blah. Still a neat idea, I think. Because there is still a certain degree of uncertainty as to where the ship is. You have a pretty good general direction, but not entirely 100%. Anyway, the stamina really comes to rear its ugly head here. Again, it's not a puzzle, it's not a difficulty, it's just something that gets in your way. Also, it's kind of hard to judge the distance of the ship when you're shooting. Look, that's close, right? Seems pretty close. Where is it now? Where is it now? Yeah, the ship is in motion if you weren't aware. There it is. It's all the way over there now. How far is all the way over there? I don't know. Okay, look, we're pretty close. Oh, look, we're really close. Look. There we go. Yeah, it can be a little frustrating, but I mean, you are shooting an invisible ship. It shouldn't be easy peasy. And you can kind of tell in the targeting when you're like up against it, since the arc will slam against the wall. And he'll take down the boat, run it aground, I guess, even though the whole sea is sand, and then board the ship. And I will see you guys next time for the sand ship.